Rebecca is also the founder of RHGTV, and she has over 39 regular programs on it. She was going to give me an updated number, but I didn't get it yet, but I'm sure she'll share that with you. So going forward, here is John Hall's daughter, Rebecca.
Thank you, Dad. I love my dad. One of the things that's really special about having him as an MC is I don't know, just like you don't know what's coming next. And I love that because he owns the space and really carries us along. And I get to appreciate and relax and enjoy that unfold just as you do. So I appreciate that about Dad and his leading style. So thank you. Let's give him another round of applause. My shy father. I love it. Well, this next segment is a really special segment. It's where we celebrate people that are stepping forward in really powerful ways. These are individuals that I think it's important that we celebrate each other. And this is an opportunity for us to do that, to lift up, to get to know each other, see some of the amazing things that people are stepping forward in and launching, and then celebrate that as a community. So we call this our 2019. What is the year? I'm so beautiful. That was a test. Thank you. New dress. I wanted to make sure I got one of the beautiful comments in. So this is our 2019 Ready to Thrive Success Panel. If we could have our amazing success panel experts line up, that would be fabulous. And come on up and take a seat. Let's welcome them to the stage. Now, I have taken some time really thinking about the order that I wanted to present each of these individuals, and so I muscle tested and I felt in, and so we're going to experience that together, and this is how I was led to reveal and share this special group of people that are just stepping forward, being seen, and impacting so many people in powerful ways. So, first up, drum roll. There we go. Is Olivia Parr-Rud. And I wanted to share a little bit about our fabulous Olivia, and then I will have her take center stage. So Olivia is a global thought leader, a love ambassador, data scientist, international best-selling author, and she specializes in blending the left and right brain together and just brings powerful information, but shares it from that heart space. It's incredible the work that she does. She is committed and passionate to bringing more love into the world and has the science and the data to back up exactly why that's so important and actually helps companies' bottom line. And you can read that in her powerful books that she's brought forward. She has a master's in statistics, and she wants to help you bring more love into your life, more love into the world. Her clients include Cisco, Walmart, Wells Fargo, State Farm, Xerox, Nationwide, and Clorox. Can we please lean in and warmly welcome Olivia Parr-Rud to the center of the stage? Woo!
Wow, thank you. So, as she was introducing me, I had this oh shit moment that I didn't put any nail polish on. So, isn't that funny what occurs to us at these times? I'm a geek, and when I got into the corporate world, I was really traumatized because I was kind of also this very open-hearted person and spiritual seeker, and over the years, I did really well in my career. It was a great time to be a data scientist. I started in the early 90s. I wrote a best-selling book in 2001 called Data Mining Cookbook that was a global bestseller. And then I wrote another book about just how to manage business intelligence. And then I wrote an award-winning book for SaaS, 2014, all the while knowing that I eventually wanted to bring love into business. And I started to see how the speed of change and the technology and the data I was using was actually creating the need for more human competencies. So when I wrote these technical books, it was very academic, very left brain. I could get the data, the information out clearly, but my heart wasn't in it. And for years, and I think someone, Rebecca was saying how we have this thing, and what are the things that got in the way? I spent 7 years trying to get this book on paper with all different outlines, and not knowing what I was going to write, and knowing that I didn't want it to be this left brain research-based book, but more personal. So I had just started to have an outline gel in my mind when I got an email from Rebecca, and it was this invitation to publish, and I thought, oh my gosh, I can do this myself and actually get help. So I contacted Rebecca. She got me a contract, right, to help write the book. And I started writing, and I couldn't track it. I don't know if that experience has happened, where I was just writing, but I didn't know what I wrote until after it was on paper. And then I eventually finished the book, and I remember sending it to Rebecca and saying, does it make any sense at all? Because I don't know what I wrote. And what happened was I did the research on companies that use caring and compassion, and I had data to show that they actually did better over the long run. Like even in a year and a half and beyond, they were outperforming some of the other best companies. And I thought, this is really exciting. I can go to people who only care about profits and go, you know what, if you bring more love in, you'll actually make more money, because that's really my audience. There's a lot of people that are champions for conscious business. I'm trying to get the really hardcore, greedy people to bring love into business. And so that's the first chapter, and then I got into the second chapter is about the generations and how the younger people are just seem to be more awake and more craving, and there's probably many of you in this room who are wanting to make a difference and be seen for who you are, not just what you do. So I really kind of did my own research, and I looked at some of the models like integral and spiral dynamics, and I said, wow, we are changing. Our consciousness is getting elevated. And then I found myself just sharing my own story and how I needed to be in that world for my own growth, and really figuring out like what was my purpose. And I had so many cosmic 2x4s in life that I knew I could survive anything, but I wanted to see where I could help others and make a difference. And I really had to get out of my own way, like, okay, it's not about me, it's I have some purpose or some wisdom that could help other people, because I really wrote this book to me 25 years ago to say, if you feel this way, if you want to open your heart, if you want to deeply connect, not only is that good for your company, but the world needs us to do this. And it is so exciting to me. The thing that motivates me is that I'm going to get to my, I guess I'll say pearly gates or whatever, and be held accountable. Like, you didn't do what you came in this lifetime to do. And the other thing I want to speak to is we've talked about different age groups, and I'm 68 years old, and I feel like I just figured out what I'm supposed to do when I grow up, and I am so excited. I feel better than I did when I was in my 20s. I was in a really bad car accident when I was 19, so I was very unhealthy for years, and I got into organic foods and alternative health in the 70s, and I think it's slowed my aging, so I'm just feel like I'm getting ready to go, and I'm so thrilled to be part of Rebecca's community, and I just hear everybody's story, and I think, wow, we're doing it. We're stepping forward and getting ready to shine or shining, and I just appreciate everybody, and so thank you.
Thank you. And you want to share about a recent award that this beautiful book just got?
Oh, it got a Nautilus Book Award, so got a silver medal in the Nautilus Book Awards. So Rebecca told me, oh, this is a great book, and I thought, oh, well, okay, she's being nice, but this was real validation. So
Yeah.
I have it back there. It's normally $19.95, but I'm selling it today for $10. If anybody's interested, I'd be happy to, sell it to you. Thank you.
Great.
And the
thank you.
follow-up book is out, but it's not in print yet, and
Yep.
that did get #1 international bestseller. So she walks her talk. She can do it. So go for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Very proud of you and excited, and just it's a very powerful book. Wonderful. Okay, so Doug. I was led to have you next. Now, Doug and I have known each other for lots of years, and friends, and we feel like family, that we've just walked so much together on the journey together. And he's created all of our designs, so all these beautiful materials Doug helped design. He's a graphic designer, and you've been doing that for over 20 years. 23 years, and you found what you love to do, and you get to do it every day. And I love that. And you're able to help people translate their vision and how they want to be seen, and really bring that into online formats as well as in print. So I love you. I love the work that you do. And I'm honored to bring you forward. And I know you're passionate about people's brand online really matching who they are. And you just won't settle for that. I mean, he will really stand for that and for you in that. And I appreciate that. So let's welcome Doug Silva to the center of the stage.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not one of those that feel like I need to be in the spotlight or be seen. I'm very much of an introverted person, but I love to make people look really good. And that's what I do. And I get to do something that I've done all of my life. And not a lot of people can say that when they came out of the womb, I can say that came out with a paintbrush and a pencil. And I love to draw, I love the color, and this is what I've done all of my life. For the past 23 years. I can go back to February 5th, 1996. And that's when I got my first job in the corporate world of business doing design. And I worked my way all the way up to a senior graphic design position for a big scientific instrument company in Walnut Creek. And I got to do head of all their branding and all their design. And that was a good 9 years. But I was in that corporate world, cranking out stuff for the, on templates, but I knew my creativity was stifled. And when you get to do something that you get to do, and you're been supported by so many people. My parents have been married for the past 50 years, and I've come from a very loving, supporting environment. And they've always supported me and told me what I can do, and that you can do anything, and that you could do this. And then in 2004, the big old company decided, okay, enough, you guys are all gonna get laid off. And that was pretty traumatizing. And then that time, I'm like, okay, I need to re-look at what I'm gonna do. And then because of the love of my life, told me, you know what, go on your own. See what you're gonna be like. What's the worst gonna do? And that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I created my business, and I've been doing it for 14 years as a contractor freelancer. And in that time, I've used all my expertise in print world and the design world and the corporate world to help other companies build their marketing and build their image, because I believe image is absolutely everything. And if you don't look good, then nobody is gonna really treat you with any respect or have any value, because you got to walk the walk and talk the talk, but you got to look like it. So with all my expertise, I've got to really shine, and working with Rebecca and going back, it'll be 10 years this month, and we've got to work and have a really great ride together. And all these logos you see in the back, she would call me up and say, I have this great idea, and I'm doing this, and we're going to be launching in February of 2017, and I need to get this done. And so I get like, okay, Rebecca, what do you want? And then she just gives me a little bit of these ideas, and I'm like, okay, what's this? How do you think of this? She's like, I never thought of that, but I like it. And that's how the RHG, being there at the ground floor of everything she's ever got to do, and see her go from when I met her as a financial planner to now this publishing giant. It's been absolutely amazing. We have these great phone call conversations, and then she's like, I need to do the speaker talent search. And it was just a simple font I put together, and I didn't like it, so I recreated it and created the one that looks like, America's Got Talent. So we really, we have all these really good things, and then she introduced me to her tribe. And her tribe is my tribe. And I got to get to introduce Cassandra Garabedian, and we're going to be launching her brand, which we have samples of, but I think she wants to wait a little longer to come out. And we connected, and she's like my soulmate too. And Liz Lister is another one. We got to be introduced, and we're working on, and just a lot of other little things I've got to do. And it is so, I feel so great that I get to do something that this is all I've known to do. And it's one of those things that I have to really think about it, and I never realize how much I do. And I looked at all the projects I'd done, and until one of the logos got to be on Huffington Post, and it was plastered all over, and it was linked to CNN, and it's like, I did that. I know it was you, and it was your article, but that image is seen all around the world. And I got to do some really amazing projects that were networked through me. I got to publish 3 giant New York Times bestseller books where I laid out all the internals and did the covers for those. And I'm also working with a winery in Lodi, creating some wine labels for some great wineries. And I'm working with a rebranding a restaurant in Burlingame. So they wanted their wines to do it, and then they said, oh, we love this. We're going to take this design for 2019, and then we're going to use this design, the new one, for 2020 for our 20th anniversary of opening of this restaurant, that the kids are taking over from the family. So I don't realize and don't feel like I need accolades, but it's because I just do it. I don't even have to try. And that's the great thing about when you do what you love, what you do. And I'm so grateful to have this and share this. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you for your beautiful work and helping us shine and navigate those waters so powerfully. Thank you. Kimberly. So Kimberly Schehrer, in her beautiful sequined dress, I love it, is a teen breakthrough expert. She has been featured in major media, ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, and recognized for the work that she does supporting teens and an advocate in this area. She is a #1 international bestselling author, founder of the Academy for Independence, Masters in Counseling Psychology, and you are launching your podcast soon. We are very excited about that. And your book is also coming out later this year, so we're excited about that as well. And you are passionate about raising the next generation of leaders. Can we please lean in? Warmly welcome Kimberly Schehrer to the center of the stage.
Thank you. Wow, it is so wonderful to be here with all of you today. And I especially want to thank Rebecca for encouraging us, for helping us to fly in our businesses, and believing that we can soar to new heights. This reminds me of my favorite kids movie, Dumbo. How many of you know the importance of believing in yourself? Yeah. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the story, Dumbo is a circus elephant who was born with huge ears, and he discovers a magical feather, which he believes allows him to fly. The truth, however, is that it's not the feather that allows him to fly. It's his enormous ears. And Dumbo realizes this when he has to take a leap of faith to fly without the feather. Rebecca reminds me of the feather. She nudges us to believe more powerfully in ourselves, and in so doing, she pushes us gently to step over our edge so we can fly. Yet Rebecca isn't just any feather. I chose the peacock feather because it represents pride. Have you heard the saying, proud as a peacock? Yeah, I'm proud as a peacock to be in Rebecca's community. For me, this feather represents beauty, elegance, and colorful creativity, which are all attributes I see in Rebecca and in this beautiful community of heartfelt leaders. As a teen breakthrough expert, I know firsthand the power of teens believing in themselves. And I give them the tools, the mindset, and the confidence to not only overcome obstacles, but to step over their own edges and fly. The first step for teens to learn how to fly is for parents to be like the feather. As a parent, we want to be proud as a peacock of our teen, right? We encourage our teens, we offer them guidance, and we deeply desire the best for our children. However, our children, as they begin their journey towards greater independence, they don't always take our feather. Our teens see it as bias. For example, my daughter. I wanted her to believe she's beautiful. She said, "You're supposed to say that because you're my mom." Yet a Macy's associate says she's beautiful, and she absolutely believes it. If only teens would take our feathers, life would be so much easier for them and for us too, but it wouldn't be as transformative. One of the biggest reasons I founded Academy for Independence was because I wanted more teens to be able to fly. And I knew I had the tools and the techniques to reach them when parents and teachers couldn't. My practice is about teaching teens how to fly and then how to soar. By working together to believe in themselves, to be responsible for their choices, and to withstand challenges. I also support parents with trusting that their teens have the skills, the mindset, and the confidence to break through what they formerly thought was impossible for them. I am writing a book for both parents and teens to help guide them through their independence journey. If you're interested in reviewing the book, or writing it for me would be great. Please sign up at the back table with the peacock feathers. I'm also going to be launching a podcast soon for parents of teens. So if you would like to be considered as a guest on my show, you may also sign up for that as well. Let me leave you with this. We all have the power to soar when we believe in ourselves and, like Dumbo, are courageous enough to jump off the ledge of our comfort zones. Let's give our teens the tools they need to be successful and independent, so when they don't have us, their feathers, with them, they still have the faith in their ability to fly. Let's help our teens fly farther and faster than ever before so they can be the leaders this world needs. Rebecca, as a symbol of your powerful and yet gentle push for all of us to soar, I give you this feather, and I am proud as a peacock to be here with you today.
Thank you. Thank you. I celebrate the powerful work that you do and your stand for teens to not help them just fly, but soar. Thank you. Let's give her another round of applause. And I love my feather. Okay. Jeanne. So Jeanne Alford is an expert in PR, marketing, and communications, a speaker, and media trainer. She serves as executive director for the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Association, and you're soon to launch a podcast for them as well. So we're very excited about that. And you have worked for companies such as Dolby Laboratories, Philips Electronics, Visa, and Sony. And I love your passion and your power to help people be heard, help them be understood, that their message is clear. And you stand for that, and you hold that for them and with them. So let's welcome Jeanne Alford to the well, hug first. Okay, now to the center of the stage.
I love that we just heard about Dumbo. Because I wanted to tell you that I'm the living example of the shoemaker's daughter. Do you know that story? The shoemaker's daughter never has shoes. Because, I'll take care of that later. I have business. I've worked with some very well-known people in my career. CEOs, people you see in the news. I've actually been on the news. My career has been telling other people's stories. But I will tell you, a couple years ago, I came into a room pretty much like this, group of people pretty much like this, and we did the introduction, and I think it was something like this. I came here to find my voice. A little louder. I came here to find my voice. When you work for other people, your value system is different. And then when you start to work for yourself, you don't necessarily value the same skills. Now, one of the things that I didn't value was my ability to write. Although I have been published in the Wall Street Journal, in Fortune, and in Forbes magazine. But I was published under somebody else's name. I was a corporate ghostwriter, if you will. And when somebody said, would you write a blog post for us? I think my screen turned white permanently. And I had to go way back in my brain and say, what did I used to do? I wrote New York Times level news releases at one point, and I had to grab that. And there's only one reason that I could say I was able to do that. Is this community here. There were people in this community who said, I believe you. I don't need the title. I don't need to know who you work for. I know you can do it. I'm now a best-selling author, thanks to Rebecca. And I talk about how you use author skills to change your life. Because we all have stories, but we forget to edit. Some of those stories that we live with are stories somebody else gave you, that you took in as your own. And you've lived that story, not yours. So we get to edit by saying, Mom told me that. I'm not sure she was right. Or I get to change that. Mom used to say, you're a little too loud, you need to stay quiet. Can you imagine? I stay quiet a lot. And then I went, boing. And it's listening to the stories everybody else has when you say, I've got something to offer. And when you said earlier, there's a group of people out there that need to know, well, there are people out there who don't do what I do and need help. There are people out there who don't do what you do and need help. And when we start to edit those stories and get out of our way, we can define our own success. 2 years ago, I wasn't a published author. 2 years ago, I wasn't getting ready to start a podcast. I wasn't the executive director of a national nonprofit. Each of us takes a step, and each step takes us closer to who we are supposed to be. We have gifts, and we need to share them. I can't wait to see the gifts that you guys are sharing with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanne. Thank you. Thank you for your work, for your willingness to help us be clear. She always encourages me on the social media because I would forget Twitter and those kinds of things, and that's part of communication. And so you were always prompting and reminding me, and I know you do that for so many. You help us continue to share out and shine. And I appreciate that about you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. And Janice is a dear friend of mine. I'm honored to have her here today and to be able to share her with all of you. And I wanted to just share, I was going through your bio. You know when you're friends and you're on the journey together and then you take a moment and you get to read that bio again and see your beautiful, powerful friend and in that way, because you know them on a heart level and that friendship. And so I got to experience that in reading through your resume again and getting ready for, in your bio, and getting ready for today. So I want to brag about my friend a little bit. So Janice is an executive producer for Janice Edwards, Bay Area Vista, which is an award-winning show. It launched on NBC in the Bay Area. She has, numerous awards. It was year after year for this program and how she's touching people's lives with it. She is a coach, an executive producer, an author, president and CEO of Edwards Unlimited. She has conducted over 1,200, that's 1,200 interviews. Here's just a little touch of some of the people that she's interviewed. Barack Obama, Oprah, Deepak Chopra, Robert Redford, John Travolta. Like, there's a range. And this is just like a couple highlights. And she was recently, and let's celebrate this with her, recently received the 2019, you were inducted into the Black Legends of Silicon Valley Hall of Fame. Can we celebrate? Congratulations. It's my privilege and honor to bring the amazing Janice Edwards to the center of the stage.
Wow, thank you so much, and thank you for that applause and recognition. I'm so honored to be here. As all of you who know Rebecca well know, she is such a compassionate person, but such a strategic visionary. And I love it when she says, I have a download, because you know it's going to be amazing. It's a divine download that really just benefits us all. So thank you. Thank you for the privilege of being here today. Thank you for being an amazing friend, and thank you for all that you give to all of us, because you're so talented. You could just do you, and we would willingly follow, but you want all of us to be elevated, and so thank you. Thank you. Let's give her a round of applause. Amazing. I'm excited to share a little bit with you. I was thinking about what would I like to share that hopefully will have you leave here and feel like this is an action step I can take. So sometimes I talk about 5 keys to being the star in the reality show of your own life. And 2 of those keys are prepping for your inner close-up and cutting toxic guests from the roster or the couch. Okay, you know how and I'll start with that one because some of us probably know those guests on in the shows of our lives. And if you look at shows, you know, many times on reality TV, they're the ones that get a lot of screen time, right? They're the ones that, on Real Housewives who are flipping over the tables and they're doing all that because it's great drama. When it comes to our lives and what we need to do and being on point and on purpose, bad guests can really throw you off. They can throw off your message. They can throw off your focus. They can really interrupt your destiny. And I think it's very important for us to lovingly talk with ourselves about who are those bad guests in our lives. And it doesn't mean that you have to totally remove them from every arena. Sometimes you do. But sometimes you just have to say, you know what? You're great in the green room, but you're not going to be on the show today or in the future. And sometimes those bad guests are our own critics in our head, our own habits. I was interviewing Ariana Huffington, and she talked about the gremlin within. And I said, so what's the gremlin saying to you right now while we're doing this interview? And she said, you have a funny accent and you should never be on TV. You should just shut up and not talk. So there she was, and you know how powerful she is, but her gremlin was just there too. We all have those habits. We have the patterns. Sometimes it's trauma and other things. So to the best of our ability, our commitment to ourselves to say, let's get it healed, let's get it handled, let's practice self-love, let's nurture our inner child so we can get up and go do the things we need to do, but let's not let it stop us because other people are counting on us to overcome that and get to the next level in our lives. one of the things that I love doing with video is helping people do that. A lot of times people will say, well, I'm not sure I want to be on camera, and I'm an introvert and extrovert at the same time, so I wasn't sure either. But what I've discovered is that once you get rid of the bad guest, a lot of times it's more fun to show up. It's more fun to do that. And when I work with people, a lot of times what I help you do is really connect to that part of you that loves to help others and wants to give. When I used to act and I earned my equity card and SAG and AFTRA, the thing that we all learned was it was about giving, really. That's when you're not self-conscious on stage. If you think about, what do I have to offer to someone else? Most of us are givers. I mean, there are times, too, when it's all about me, and these days, narcissism and selfies, it's just like, well, it's a different paradigm. But in our hearts and our souls, what really moves us is when we are connected to giving our gifts and sharing, and then receiving love and feeling appreciated for that. And that is what is related to preparing for your inner close-up. Because a lot of times we know what to do for the external after a certain period of time. When I first started working in TV, a coach said to me, people want to know you, but they don't want to know the you that has stuff in your eyes in the morning and hasn't brushed your teeth when they say they want to know you on camera. But they want a certain presentation of you. And a lot of times we know how to present externally. But what about internally? How are we doing with our spirit and our soul? How are we feeling about where we have to go? Maybe there are things we're doing that aren't our passions, but we understand it's for resource, it's for vision, it's to keep roof overhead, whatever it is. But we have to tell ourselves the truth and then come to a place where whatever that truth is, we're ready to get up and go. So that then when you're on camera or dealing with someone, your inner close-up is aligned with who you are. Because we know that it is true, the camera doesn't lie. You can mask certain things and feel like I'm just here showing up and here I am. But if here you are is feeling like you don't deserve to be, then that love, that time, that nurturing is what really prepares you to show up in the world in the way that we are called to show up, so that we can do our books, we can share our gifts, and we can be our best selves. I love working with people to help them connect to that, even if it's a video for the website or being a guest on my show or wherever you are, or just in presentations to speak somewhere and to connect with what Rebecca was telling us about with your story. Connect with your story. Trust that you are loved, you are powerful, you are here for a purpose, and we're excited to play together to help you passionately stand in your power and continue to move forward to thrive and be successful.
Thank you. Thank you. So can we have our 2019 Thrive Success Panel stand up and have a beautiful round of applause? Thank you all for the work that you do, your hearts, and your willingness to step forward and shine so beautifully and powerfully. Thank you. Are you a speaker looking to reach more people with your message? You have a global vision that you want to touch the world and make a global difference. If so, I have an amazing opportunity for you. It's called the Speaker Talent Search. Again, that's the speakertalentsearch.com. You'll find all the details, but here are the highlights. With one application process, you get clarity on your message. You get to fine-tune how you want to reach the world. Then you'll have everything ready in one place for the opportunities when they come. Second, we select you as a finalist. You get to come in and audition with a 7-minute audition, open up the door to hundreds of speaking opportunities. I hope you lean in. I hope you say yes. We would love to hear your message. Help you touch the world powerfully. Again, that's the speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your powerful message.